Hi everyone, and welcome to Daily Revelations, this weekly Bible study where we dive into God's Word one book at a time. We are in the book of Genesis, and this week we're focusing on Genesis 22. And what we do on day 2 of our study, since it's day 2, is we use a different precept method every day of the week. But day 2, we focus on some way that the author uses literary usage, maybe an if-then statement, or this but not that, comparison contrast, or maybe a repetitive word. That's kind of what, but more of a repetitive phrase is what struck me today, and a repetitive phrase with question with a repetitive response. What am I talking about? Well, here we are in Genesis 22. And God's, in the very first verse, says, Abraham. And Abraham, here I am. It's just like a student in a classroom, raising their hand. Roll call, I'm here. This is what I thought of when I saw this. And then again in verse 11, Abraham, Abraham. And he says, here I am. And then I thought, what do I do? Am I attentive? Am I listening for God saying, Peggy, Peggy? And do I say right away, here I am? Or am I off doing something in the corner way back of the classroom, or maybe even outside the classroom, and I can't hear, and I can't say, here I am, because I'm too far out of range. God doesn't move, but we do. And it's just a reminder to me of that one thing. But in addition to that, I don't know, growing up, if you remember yourself doing this or other kids in your classroom, but just being distracted. Teacher calling the name and you don't even hear it. We do that a lot with God because we just have stuff going on. And it takes a training of our mind to be focused on listening and hearing when God says, hey Peggy, are you there? Yes, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm excited, here I am. But it's again bringing ourselves into that constant awareness that God is coming to call on us and wanting to be ready for that. And then there's also being bombarded with the things of life, when lots of noises are going on, and maybe you had the opportunity of roll call happening when you were on a field trip, and just, things happening all around you and not hearing your name called. Again, it's piquing our ear, listening, even in the midst of all of those bombardments. God, I really want to listen. I am tuning my ear into you, even with the distractions around me. We sometimes can't remove them, but we still can focus our attention on wanting to hear from God. One of the greatest books that has really impacted my Christian life is Experiencing God by Henry Blackaby. And he talks about seeking out where God is at work around you and watching and waiting and expecting that God will show up, that he will call on you and bring you into whatever he's doing around you. That is the kind of attentiveness that God is looking for from us. But we have to be willing to block out some of the noises, focus our attention, and wait and listen. And that is when we hear God say our name, and we can say, here I am. Use me. Thanks for joining me on Daily Revelations. I will see you tomorrow as we continue this study through Genesis 22.